What's up, Jimmy? How's the weather over in Florida, man?
It stinks. It goes back and forth, and stinks is the key word, Michael. Stinks.
Why? So you were saying about that, like what stinks about it?
Well, there's the gradual changes of season in New York,
Right.
which allowed us to, assimilate into the next season,
I like that word,
and and
assimilate.
and you get used to it, especially after half a century. And where I live, it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So you could be during a certain time of year here be freezing, and then the next week you could be looking at 70 degrees, and then it's back down to 40, and then it's up to it's weird, and I've had a hard time getting used to it.
How do
So
you deal with the warm weather though in Florida? Like, because it gets pretty soupy and hot, right?
yeah, like I said, you wind up stinking. You sweat a lot, you know.
Well, Jimmy, I want to introduce one of our new sponsors, Mando. Can you
Ah,
see that?
yeah,
Mando.
nice.
Mando gives you a whole bunch of product, right? Body washes. Let me see if I can swing that over there, right? We've got here a whole body deodorant, which is good, right? You're at work, you're sweating, I don't know if you have a propensity to smell, dude. I'm not trying to make fun of you. You
Who,
know what I
me? Not
mean?
me. How
Some
about you?
people, not really, dude, because I tell you, well, I will tell you this. We've discussed it before. I get very sticky and very caught up in things. And I
Yeah,
mean, when you spray this body spray on you,
yeah,
boy, oh boy, it makes a huge difference. Now, again, in New York, it's still cold, so I don't necessarily need it all the time. But I could imagine those hot summer Florida months is going to be. This will be
yeah.
your first or second time dealing with that.
Actually, technically, it would be my third.
Really?
Yeah, because I hit the summer 2 years ago. Don't forget, I was here in the summer of 2023. Then there's 2024. Here comes 2025. So I've experienced 3 summers here.
Well, then I bet you wish you had some Mando with you last year.
I need like a crate of Mando because I'm a fando of Mando.
Oh, I love it. Mando's starter pack is a perfect for all you new customers who are asking you to support Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, right? Use the
Easy, easy for you to say.
MATP code. That's
MATT.
MATQ, which is showing on right there on the screen. Use that. Support us. Show Mando they made the right choice in choosing one of the top pro wrestling podcasts or broadcast or television show that you could possibly have. And if you use that code, right, it equals 40% off, Jimmy. 40% off. If by my
Nice.
math, that's close
That's
to
pretty good.
half.
Yeah, I'll take
It's a
that.
little less than Conan's math, but
Yeah,
it's almost half. That's
yeah.
40% off when you use MATP as the code, which is on that screen. 40% off. Go to Mando. That's Shop Mando, ShopMando, and get your starter kit. Jimmy, how you can convince all your friends in Florida to order some Mando?
Well, first of all, I'll have to be upfront with them and tell them that they smell funny. And then I will highly recommend Mando because, you got to think before you stink.
With that, I got nothing else to say. Mando.
I'm a fan, though.
Lighthearted stuff. This guy,
Lighthearted.
this guy, his name is Amir. He's the host of Power and Glory. He is the host
What are you
of
doing?
Power and Glory podcast,
Oh,
hosted by one of our favorites, Mario Mancini and Paul Roma. Power and Glory. And Amir, a little background on Amir. Amir wants to be a professional wrestler, and he does a lot of working out.
oh
But
wow.
most of all, he wants to be like Triple H. What are your
Oh,
thoughts,
yeah.
Jimmy?
Uh, I look at him every time I see him. I think to myself that Christopher joke in The Sopranos, email, not Emir. I think email, and he reminds me when I look at him of was it Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy? I know I'm
Yeah,
dating
he
myself.
does. He does look a little Lenny-ish.
But he
I
reminds
like
me
it.
of
I like
Lenny.
it. I like it.
Lenny
Yeah.
from Lenny and Squiggy, he reminds me of. And he's got that. Now, Triple H had it in a good way, and Triple H was a man. He was a big dude. You know what I mean? So Triple H had all the right components for this. But
Sure.
when you look at email, he has a face that for some unknown
With a
reason
face that you want to fucking punch in the face.
it just makes you want to just go Bruce Lee. It's like, oh my God, that is one of the most annoying. It's not like Lenny. Lenny and Squiggy, I liked. I watched them.
Yeah.
This is like Lenny's bad cousin that won't go away. The thing that wouldn't go away. And it's like, well, what's your additive? You know how everything's got an additive and a preservative? What the fuck is this guy's additive on the show other than to be that marionette yes guy that you created a couple of weeks back? Because that's his job. He's a mark. That's a mark. Okay? Like, I don't use that word too much myself, but that to me is a mark. If you're a yes man, wait a minute. If you're a yes man, Mike, if I woke up in the morning and found myself being the yes man for Mario Mancini and Paul Roman, do you know what I would do? I would do a brick to the ankle and jump in the pool. I'm serious. I'm being dead serious. You want the Pharaoh? Well, here's the Pharaoh. Oh my God.
Well,
I'm a yes man.
let me ask you a thing.
Mario Mancini and
From
Paul
his
Roma.
from his
Kill me
voice
now.
from his voice and his not his that's pretty good stuff, Jerry. His dialect, he doesn't seem like he's from this country. Do you think there's a possibility that Donald Trump will deport him? Because that would be wonderful. I would be very happy.
Now, here's the weird thing about him. If you look at him, he has different sides of weirdness, because to me, he's weird, right? Okay, look at his face, right? And then
Let me pop him up again. Hold on.
Yeah, put up his face. Okay, and now Michael Monty, we put a cape. We put a cape on him.
He does a little Dracula. He does look a little Dracula.
He's got a little bit of that. You are a wise man, Van Helsing, for a man who has lived.
But by the way, Jimmy, look at Mancini in this picture. What a jerk off!
Hi, I jumped and lost 800 matches in a row,
and I know everything about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it now because I think the coast is clear.
I can't take it.
I think the coast is clear. I can talk about it now.
I got to move on from this subject, dude, because I can't take it. I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
All right.
We're on a pace tonight. Oh God,
we are paying. Moving on.
What is this?
We're not even to the main subject of the title yet.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Second sexual abuse lawsuit involving WWE. Vince McMahon to go ahead after major court ruling. WWE is now facing multiple lawsuits alleging sexual abuse after the Maryland Supreme Court decision permitted the Ring Boy lawsuit to resume. Now, again, the Ring Boy lawsuit from 20-something years ago. Let's keep this going. They're all coming out of the woodwork.
Here we go.
I can't get a lawyer, Jimmy, but these fucking guys can get a lawyer. Why the fuck is this possible? I don't even know.
You started this when you put Lee on our show. This is your fault.
I know. It's Monte the Pharaoh have caused a lot of issues. If Lee doesn't get on our show, this never even happens.
I told you to stay away from these controversial things, but no, Norton, no. Go on. Grant.
She came out right before the roll-up. Her lawyer happens to come out a lot of times whenever there's a wrestling event. There's a wrestling event. Let's come out and talk some more shit.
Everybody, just here to give you an update.
Grant alleges she sexually assaulted and trafficked by McMahon, and Laurinaitis participated, and the WWE neglected to do anything. Because now they named a whole bunch of people. I think they named Khan and Triple H. And there's some kind of room that they had adjoining rooms. And, dude, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm going to be serious about this. You know how much we love Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But I watched the P Diddy documentary, dude.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Like, look, I'm gonna take a
how much of Hollywood is in trouble, by the way?
Well, let me just say this. I never believed in the sex trafficking thing. Like, I was like, come on, this is so stupid.
All right.
Like, how does a woman let that happen to them?
Mm-hmm.
Or a man? Doesn't have to just be a woman.
Okay.
But after watching this documentary, dude, I have to say I'm sorry. It seems like this definitely could happen, man. And I'm like, you know what? I hate to Look, I don't hate to say it. Jimmy, this documentary, my God, what he did to these women.
You're talking about Diddy.
I'm talking about Diddy. I'm talking about Diddy, who has been incarcerated and is going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Okay. Which, by the way, everybody else will say this: Vince McMahon has yet to ever be incarcerated and anything else, right? So there is a major difference. But if Vince was doing this, Jimmy,
yeah, oh yeah. Well, we've always known that. We're waiting for due process with Vince that we haven't seen.
Right.
If Vince is ever duly processed and convicted of something and sentenced to something, then it changes. Until then, it's speculation. If he did those things, he's a fucking monster. When have we ever said that if he did these things, he's a good guy? Did we ever say that? I must have missed that. You know?
No.
So until he's convicted of something and sentenced to something, it's speculation. And we leave it at that. But if we do ever find out, like you're getting at, that, you know, one of our heroes, Vince McMahon, did something to those levels and he's convicted of it, I know your opinion on him is going to change, and so is mine.
Well, someone in the documentary said at the end, because we always talk about Benoit and how people can watch his matches still and blah, blah. She said, I loved his music. I can never listen to it again because of what it created, and it created this monster. If Vince ever is proven, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the whole fucking thing.
Well, I keep comparing it to Joe Paterno, and that's what it will be. It'll be a very sad ending, and that's what it'll be. It'll be fade to black, and he'll die. And I'll never look at him the same way again. Nope. I'm just speaking for myself. I'll be like, Jesus God, what were you doing? You know, will I be surprised? To be fair to those who have criticized and accused him of things, no. I won't be surprised if that's the way it turns out. But if it doesn't turn out to be anything, then I will stay exactly where I am.